Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Daybreak, and we have a pretty entertaining ZVZ coming your way right this second. Spawning in the bottom left-hand position as the purple Zerg, we have our Russian Hope from Team Roxkiss. Can he do it? This is the lower bracket. It is LiveZerg, who is going to be facing off against the pink fluffy Zerg player spawning in the top right-hand corner of the map. But do not be fooled, this man's play is anything but cuddly. Representing evil geniuses, we have Stephano. GLHFs all around, and we have a very entertaining ZVZ coming your way. Stephano, of course, was knocked into the lower bracket very early on in this tournament, actually taken out by Vortex in round number 1, who was able to 2-0 him. So he had to fight his way past Elfie to get to the position where he could play LiveZerg, who was sent down to the lower bracket by Grubby in winners round 2. So that's it for the players' stories in these games so far. Now, in a ZVZ, you essentially want to be doing the exact same thing your opponent is doing, but hopefully the slightest bit later, so you can try and obtain some sort of macro advantage going into the middle game by having that extra drone or two. So far, though, both players are getting their spawning pools at exactly the same time down to the second. And it looks like we're going to be going pool into hatch from LiveZerg, and Stephano having the exact same thought. So nothing too much to comment on at this moment in time. It's interesting to note that I think you can just about get away with putting your spawning pool here and maybe blocking off the back passageway if for any reason you feel that's desired against Zergling run-bys or something like that. Neither player really thinking that's a massive priority here, though, and it's not exactly something that comes into effect that often because, of course, you can just go through the mineral line, but it's something we see occasionally Zergs like to do. And it looks like both players also taking their gases at pretty much the same time as well. So, as mirror matchups go so far, ladies and gentlemen, for the first 3.5 minutes of this game, we'll see at what point our players choose to take their additional gases and what kind of tech routes they're going to be going. Could we see some fun Muta versus Muta action here? Are we going to see Muta versus Infestor going into the middle game? These are the dynamics in ZVZ that are being explored quite a lot. Of course, we used to always see Zergling, Baneling crazy in ZVZ, but not in this day and age. Zerg players have slowly started figuring out that early Zergling, Baneling play can be used for offensive or defensive purposes, but doesn't need to be used as an all-in because good Baneling hits basically turn it into a lottery if you're not too careful. And as a result, you normally get some units early game just to defend while you continuously tech up. So we see a lot of late game ZVZ of late as far as the metagame is concerned. And I think that's a really good thing. We don't really want to be seeing 6 or 7 minute knife fight ZVZs when we could be seeing some really cool endgame play with maxed out armies going crazy on each other. Unless, of course, it's Broodlord versus Broodlord, which looks highly amusing to even the most casual of viewers, because you have broodlings getting shot out to attack other broodlings, and not the least hilarious situation I've ever seen. But let's see if it ends up coming to that, though. Both sides going for their Baneling Nest at pretty much an identical time here. We can see the work supplies are virtually identical, and so far the strategies have been pretty much spot on from both players. We can actually see Stephano is going to go for 4 Zerglings of his own. We had 2 Zerglings a little bit earlier from LiveZerg, but he only produced 2. So while he sacrificed that little bit of economy earlier on, he was able to pop out with 2 fewer lings, and as a result get 1 extra drone on top of it. So things are pretty much going to even out there. Stephano going to be the first to grab a spine crawler at the front of his base, and we have got a second gas now being taken at the natural expansion for LiveZerg. In the meantime, we see Stephano going up to all 4 of his gases. So Stephano will be able to get a little bit more tech in And LiveZerg actually is going to be the first with the aggression. We have got 20 Zerglings coming in, so this is a little bit more of an old school pressure coming from LiveZerg here. And with the Baneling Nest complete, he might just be looking to try and bust down the front of Stephano. The problem is he's starting to get that Sim City in place. The Spine Crawler's at the front, which is lovely. We have the Evolution Chamber coming to help lock off with the Baneling Nest. Is there a gap between these buildings? I can't tell if there's a one Zergling gap there, and a second Evo Chamber coming down to really funnel units through here, and the Queen coming into block as well. This is going to be so difficult for LiveZerg to get him, but if he manages to get into the main base, that could be huge. And no, he's going to be morphing in a hole, but oh my goodness, that is a decent number of Banelings right there, if I do say so myself. And they have one mission, ladies and gentlemen, to rally themselves into the natural. And here we go, the Spine Crawler attempting to take some of them out. But the Baneling train is coming through. Oh, we have a situation, though, where the Queen actually takes the brunt of those hits. And the Broodlings get taken out by the rest of them. Yes, the Evo Chamber is dead. Yes, we have the Baneling Nest dead. But Stephano has defensive Banelings now, and it's going to be up to him. One of them does explode on a decent number of leads, and the other one gets a huge connect, and that might be enough for Stephano to hold on here. 59 versus 59 supply. A lot of Banelings coming in from LiveZerg. This is all or nothing now for him. And Stephano coming with a decent number of leads, forcing the Banelings to get taken out by the Queen there, and there are only Zerglings left for LiveZerg. Stephano has held this like a champ. The Baneling control from LiveZerg has not been sufficient in this particular game. And Stephano is doing such a good job here. Let's take a look at that losses tab. LiveZerg is about 700 ahead, and Stephano now has roaches out. So this aggression is well and truly over. LiveZerg is attempting to take his third base behind this, but these Zerglings and Banelings just were not able to put a dent in Stephano's defenses. Yes, he got the second Evo and the Baneling Nest taken out, but he had roaches by the end of that engagement. LiveZerg did not get what he was looking for. 0 workers killed in total. And that was just really, really good coming out of Stephano. Infestation Pit going down for him now as well. He's going to look to get up to that Roach Infestor mid to late game composition as quickly as he possibly can. And in the meantime, the Roach one only now just completing for LiveZerg. So his tech is way behind Stephano at this point. He has got his third base up much sooner, but Stephano knows that the third base is going up. He is not concerned. He's going to be able just to move across the map with these Roaches. +1 is complete. By the time he gets across the map, Glial Reconstitution will be complete as well. And you know what? If the first push doesn't kill him, he has got +2 on the way. He's got Pathogen Glands about to start as well. So the second push will come with Infestors, and LiveZerg looks like he might be in a world of trouble here. So what can he do from this point? The Roaches are now coming into the natural expansion. Some Lings and Roaches trying his best to defend. But the current army size is just larger overall for Stephano right now. He does have a couple units rallying across the map. But no more at the moment. But this is going to be enough to clean up the third base. The Queen gets one shot in. Is he going to stick around and try and pick the third off, or is he going to try and take the units out from LiveZerg as they pop out of the hatch? It looks like he's going to be going in towards the natural expansion. The Evo Chamber that is researching +1 missile attacks gets taken out there. So no +1 for your Roaches, LiveZerg. Stephano is going to have that really nice little upgrade advantage. He's kiting with his Roaches beautifully. He still technically is more than his opponent. Now finally starting to get whittled down. And Stephano doing such a great job. 7 Infestors on the way. He's trading as efficiently as he possibly can. Yes, there is the third base for LiveZerg, but look, he's not going to saturate that anytime soon because he has nothing but Roaches on the way to try and fend off this aggression from Stephano. It's going to take him a while before he can actually drone up and get the army together that he wants to. And in the meantime, Stephano's going to be able to use the energy, extra energy of these Infestors to get a really, really nice engagement the second time around. Supplies are currently 88 to 102 in Stephano's favor. And if we take a look at the worker supply, even though LiveZerg got his third base down that much earlier, Stephano is actually equal in workers. So his third base is going to go down now as well. And notice that we still only have a couple of drones in production for LiveZerg, but Stephano is now going to try and get as many Roaches as he possibly can because this follow-up push is going to have that Infestor support. And here we go. Stephano looking to try and end this game by starting off killing the third base. And it's hard to see what LiveZerg is going to be able to do to stop him here, because we basically have a situation where we have Infestors versus no Infestors. An excellent fungal growth on a lot of those roaches. Infested Terrans coming out for a bit more DPS, but we've got extra roaches coming in from Stephano, and at the very least, this third hatch is going to be forfeit. There is no way LiveZerg can save this. The real question is whether or not he can save the rest of his bases and the game. Stephano still does have enough energy for fungal growths, and these roaches look like it could be a prime target. Stephano moving out towards the natural expansion now. We need to see some spreading from LiveZerg here, and that's a decent spread actually. Fungal's not going to be able to do too much damage, but that's why Stephano opts to use the energy for Infested Terrans instead, and the DPS coming out of here from Stephano is just mega right now. The Infestors, though, are moving back out across the map, so there are no fungal growths with this engagement, and LiveZerg does have a decent concave on the top of the round. The problem is that Stephano has high ground vision with this Overseer, and as a result, he's able to power through anyway. GG! And Stephano takes the game 127 to 66 supply at the end and goes 1-0 up in this best of 3.